Today, we want to talk about a question that we get asked a lot. Whatever happened to travel agents? Do they still exist? We want to address that question tonight. As travel agency owners, we've owned our agency for 20 years. We want to let you know, yes, we are still here, but our role has changed. We're not just travel agents now, we're travel advisors.
When did the role of travel agents slash advisors change, Adrian?
Well, if we look at the history, Robert, you and I can remember when you had to go into a brick and mortar office, sit down at a desk to talk to an agent if you wanted to book any kind of travel, even to buy an airplane ticket, because there was no internet then.
No,
it was that long ago. So it was always that kind of a transaction. Those were agents. They sold tickets. They sold various things. They'd hand you a brochure, because again, there was no online access. So they were agents. Or sometimes you even had to go to the airport to buy your airline ticket. So things have changed considerably. So that's when we morphed from being just agents who sell to advisors who partner with our clients to help them book their travel.
So one thing that happened during that transition from hard offices to what you would call now online agents now. And when you say online agents and online agencies, Expedia, Bookit.com, your major multi-billion-dollar entities are online agencies. And basically, travel agents then, those who couldn't transition, most of them went out of business.
They did.
Because the rents was so high, trying to maintain a hard office. It's rare now that you can find a hard office, travel agents.
Exactly.
Most agents are working online, and getting the jobs done.
For example, we are mobile. We work from, as you can see, we're in a hotel lobby today. We work from wherever we happen to be, anywhere in the world. We travel constantly. So sometimes we're on a cruise ship and we're working. So it gives us a lot of flexibility because we can always contact our clients online, via Zoom, via email, via text. It works differently these days.
And one of the things that was a misconception about when technology entered into the travel realm, most people thought they could book their own travel, that they didn't really need a travel agent.
Yeah, the internet did not replace agents.
No, it changed. Now, basically, in the travel industry, most people have dropped the agent tag and refer to themselves as advisors or curators, because that is what the role has taken on. You don't just purchase a ticket like an agent or anything like that now. Now you build experiences. You build trips.
What's the word you use always?
I love to say curate, you know. And let me just give you an example of what that looked like. If you go get a tailored suit or a bespoke suit, you get measured. They look at you, the tailor, he look at you, he sizes you up, and he make that suit to fit you, you know, the way you bend your arms. Some tailors will even have you, you know, they'll take your measurements when you're standing erect. Some will have you sit down and measure you when you sit, because that's the way you want your clothes to fit. So when you're buying something off the rack, you can get good deals and a good fit. But a bespoke suit or a tailored suit, it brings something different to the table. That's what good travel agents are bringing to the table when they curate a trip. You get information, you work with the client, and you see what that client really wants. You ask questions that the client might even think about. You know, you ask questions like, what do you really want to get from your trip? You know?
Is it wellness? Is it relaxation? Is it adventure? You know, is it nightlife?
Because it's amazing how many people want to go somewhere, but they really haven't thought about what they really want to get from the trip.
And that's why our role as advisors, we help advise them based on the questions we ask as to what the best experience is going to be for them.
And once we get that information, we connect with them and we give them examples of what this destination can do, what this destination brings. And they can sit down with all of the information and form an opinion on where they really want to go. And also, YouTube, that's one of the things that we utilize in our agency a lot. If someone want to go to somewhere, we'll send them a YouTube video with actual people there on location so they can see the restaurant, you know, they can see the beach, you know, so they can get a good grasp of what they're going to find once they get there.
That's why we maintain a YouTube channel. Here to Their Travel has more than 300 videos on our channel of our travels, restaurant recommendations, hotel recommendations, cruise ship tours. We take you to that place so that you can see and we can share from our own experience as to what it's really like to walk down a particular street in Rome or to be on the icon of the seas, up close and personal.
So, travel agents hasn't gone anywhere. They've changed their role and their service that they provide, but travel industry, good travel advisors are in demand. How busy are we?
We are so busy. We're getting calls and texts and emails every day, and we're glad about it. That's not a complaint. A few years ago, during the time of COVID, when things had virtually shut down, we weren't doing anything. But now people have pent up travel dollars and pent up travel desire, and they're ready to go, and we're ready to help them.
Yeah, and here's another thing too, guys, just for the sake of information. We get about 4 or 5 calls a month from people who have booked their own travel and who have ran into difficulties, and then they want to try to get a travel agent or a travel advisor to help them get out of the problem, And
Maybe they've booked themselves they thought they were going to Paris, France, and went to Paris, Texas. They didn't look at the fine print. They want us to fix that.
Yes, and we vet our vendors. That's something else that advisors bring to the table. There's a lot of tour carriers out there. There's a lot of tour guides out there. There's a lot of people working in the travel industry, and all of them are not legitimate. But if you don't have a way of vetting them, you can get scammed. And that can be very costly, guys. That can really just derail your whole travel experience. So one of the services that we bring, we have a rapport. We have connections with tour guides, tour operators, drivers, restaurateurs. So we bring a personal experience because we know that these people deliver on what they advertise. So that is another service that a good travel advisor can bring to you.
Yes, so we add added value. Your time, your PTO, your vacation time is precious. We want to help you use it to the best advantage. We can offer not online support, but support while you're traveling. That's another service we do.
Yes,
We've
we
had
do.
clients who've called us from the road and said, I need a rental car all of a sudden, and we can make that happen for them. A good travel advisor is worth his or her weight in gold.
Let me address this for all travel advisors because I know all travel advisors encounter this. Travel advisors, when they find you a quoted price or a quoted deal, that is the price that they found at that particular time. Prices, unless you put your deposit in and lock that in, prices fluctuate. What happens now with airline tickets, hotel rooms, every moving part in travel, algorithm dictate how the pricing structure runs. If I give a client a quote at 10 o'clock in the morning, if that client wait 2 days before they get back and decide they want to go, that price probably most likely has changed. Sometimes it might go down a little bit. The majority of the time, it goes up.
Often a client will call us, we'll give them a quote, and we won't hear from them for a week or so. Then they'll call back and say, oh, I want to book that deal. That deal is no longer available. And that's out of our control. So we like to be honest with our clients up front to say everything is constantly changing. So when I give you a quote, you need to be ready to pull the trigger if that's what you really want.
And here's something else, guys. Prior to COVID, if you mentioned travel insurance, 9 out of 10 clients thought you were trying to upsell.
Yeah.
COVID changed all of that.
Yeah.
We haven't booked one trip since COVID that didn't have insurance.
Yeah. For our clients' protection.
Yes.
And it's important to book the right kind of insurance. That's why we can be valuable to you. All travel insurance is not the same. They have different levels of coverage. Prices are different. What you're going to get back is completely different. Maybe it's canceled for any reason, maybe it's not. You don't know that. You just figure, yeah, I'll add insurance. So make sure to read the fine print. Even if you shop for insurance on your own, make sure it covers what you need covered.
Here's a situation, guys, that really took everybody by surprise, and that was COVID. During the COVID shutdown, many travel advisors became rock stars. They came to the rescue for their clients all over the world. We were on a transatlantic cruise on the Royal Caribbean, one of the seas, from Orlando to Barcelona, Spain.
This was right after cruising had started from COVID, but we also had to test in order to get back into the United States. Robert and I took a test with us. We tested on the cruise ship. We tested negative. We were okay. But what happened when we got to the airport?
When we got to the Barcelona airport, we were among about 500 or 600 people who was getting off that ship in Barcelona who was going to try to fly out that day. Many of them didn't test on board. They waited until they got to the airport and tested in the airport. And it
didn't
was
pass the
so
test.
many of them tested positive.
Yeah.
And that was it. They were grounded. They were grounded.
They could not come back into
right
the United
there.
States.
They were grounded right there in Barcelona with no hotel reservations and not able to get on a plane to come back. We literally saw adults crying,
Yeah.
panicking
It
in
was
that
sad.
airport.
It was
in
sad.
that airport. Now, the ones who had travel advisors, they had advocates. So instead of them personally by themselves, the ones who didn't have travel, who booked on their own, trying to get back to Royal Caribbean, trying to get on the phone and call hotels and make arrangements, there was just one in hundreds in line.
Yeah.
The ones had travel agents, they called their travel agents. Their travel agent was able to call hotels, get them rooms,
Yeah.
find out where they could go and test and get medical help. They was lifesavers. They came in, they did that. And so, your travel advisor is not just someone to book your trip. They are there in case you have an emergency.
They're your advocates.
Most are 24-hour accessible. You can call them around the clock. We're never unavailable for our clients. They can always call us. Regardless of the situation, give us a call.
A travel advisor is going to also have information on what's going on in the country that you're planning to go to, what do you call it? ID
Exactly.
and such you need. We had a family who we booked a cruise for, and they got to the cruise terminal, and they didn't have the right birth certificates for the children, and the cruise ship refused to let them board. They called us in tears. We immediately booked them a hotel. We actually fronted that money for them. We didn't want them stranded at the cruise terminal, and we're able to help them reroute that to a land vacation and help them on the end.
Yeah. And do everybody need a travel agent? No.
No.
Do everybody need a travel advisor? No. I mean, certain trips dictate you don't need one. If you're going 5 or 10 miles, 5 miles from your home for a weekend little trip or
Weekend getaway, yeah.
or something like that, you can take the chance of that. If something happens, you'll deal with it. You can call your kids, somebody come pick you up. It's the nature of the trip. But if you're spending several $1,000s, you're going out of the country, you have multiple stops, multiple tours, where you have a lot of moving parts, if you are wise, you would probably check with a travel advisor because they can be of great service to you as far as giving you inside information, giving you connections, because like they said, it ain't what you know, it's who you know sometimes.
Yes.
And travel agents who have a good reputation in the industry, they have connections. We are in the travel business industry every day, staying up with current events.
Yes.
You
It's
know,
constantly changing.
Yeah, what businesses are going out of business, what businesses are coming online, how trends are coming in and dictating what people do and where they're going, what the new regulations are going into this country, what they're, you know, just all the stuff that's in this multi-billion-dollar industry. We stay on top of it, and that's what we bring to our clients.
Yes, yes. So we can provide a very valuable experience for you.
So another thing, guys, before we wrap this up is, if you think the perfect trip, you know, and what it will entail, you have to be prepared to put in the work yourself. You can't leave it to your travel advisor and don't communicate. What we do is, guys, with every client, we send you out a questionnaire. And we request you to fill out, give us the answers back. We want to know what you like, what you expect to get from your trip.
Do you want nonstop flights?
Yes.
You know, do you want a budget hotel? Do you want a luxury hotel?
Yeah, what your budget is, you know. What's the age? Passport. Do you have 6 months on your passport? You know, the little things that you might miss, you know. And it is so important, guys, to be thorough with your information because change fees is really man, they can just gut punch you, for lack of a better word.
Airlines are very
Man.
unforgiving.
Yeah.
They always want your name exactly as it is on your passport or your ID. We've had clients who maybe they forgot, they didn't look at it, so maybe they use their middle name or their middle initial. We book the ticket based on what they tell us. The airline will reject them or charge them a fee. If you have to change one letter, they're going to charge that fee.
And we see that a lot, guys.
Yeah.
We're not just grabbing this out of the air because we don't book a trip without credit card authorization, information. I cannot count the times where we have had to send those requests back again because the name on the questionnaire don't meet the name. It's not the same as the name on their passport.
Yeah.
And so when we send the questionnaire, many people don't pull the passport out because we ask, give us your name exactly as it appears on your passport.
Yeah.
Probably 8 out of 20 requests, we have to always say, no, these are two different names.
We've even asked them to send us copies of their passport so we can see exactly what it says and make sure we're booking that correctly. Are you Bob or are you Robert? You may not even remember half the time.
Yeah.
So we need to know that.
And that can be very costly because like Adrian was saying, the airlines are unforgiving, guys. They really are. But
So if we're in the middle of doing a booking and we don't have your correct name, by the time we get it from you, the price is probably going to have changed.
yeah. What about that Icelandic volcano incident, Adrian?
Oh, we were rock stars then too.
Remember that?
If you remember the eruption of the Icelandic volcano a few years ago, all of the European airports were shut down. We had clients who were flying to Lisbon to get on a cruise. And some of them had to go through other European airports.
Yes.
They were closed. They missed that cruise. We made it because we were flying directly to Lisbon, but we were able to immediately work on behalf of our clients, call the cruise line, get their money refunded, get them booked on another cruise. Some people waited months to get that happen, but because we provided that service, and we didn't charge them additional for that service, we were concerned about them making them whole after that. So with climate change and geopolitical situations, things are constantly changing. You need an advocate and a partner to keep you abreast of what's going on.
And another thing, too, that a lot of people wonder about when they are making contact with a travel advisor or a travel professional is fees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, Adrian, how does our fee structure work?
It depends on the trip. It's not an always or never. If it's a cruise that's packaged, if it's a land tour that's packaged, and that vendor is paying us a commission, we don't charge an additional fee. But if it is, as Robert used the word, a bespoke trip, where we have to book things separately for you, hotels and excursions and train tickets and airline tickets, if we have to build that trip from scratch because we can't package it, then we do have to charge a fee. And that fee depends on the length of the trip and the cost of the trip to cover the time. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure you know it, time is money. So if we're spending 5, 6, 10 hours on any particular trip, we have to be compensated for that time, like a lawyer or like any other professional.
And also, guys, good travel advisors are like good barbers and beauticians. People appreciate good quality service. Adrian and I have been in business for 20 years now, and we are so busy we can hardly keep up with our travel requests. And that's a good thing, we're not complaining. But we built our business on our knowledge and our service.
So it's important to vet someone. If you're going to work with a travel advisor, vet them. Ask them some questions, find out where they've been. Do they have experience booking the destination that you want to go to? That's why we are experienced in travel constantly, so we can bring that experience to our clients.
So that's about it, guys. We hope that you enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And Adrian?
Do travel agents still exist? Yes,
Yes,
we
we do, guys.
but in another form. And if you're looking for a good one, contact Here to There Travel.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it.